The main goal for level 1 in our training is how to work with traumatic responses. So the big trauma responses are fight, flight, freeze. Freeze could be like deer in the headlights, like just can't move, can't respond, want to respond but can't. That's on the high, on the active end, the sympathetic end of the responses in the body. If those responses fail, then what happens is the passive responses start to take place. And that's where submission, feigned death, dissociation, and it looks quite different. You can often see the person's just, they look dull, their eyes get kind of far away, they get flat affect, and they even may look like they're submitting to the whatever, the perpetrator or whatever is happening. And so those responses on the passive end go all the way from submission all the way to feigned death. So we have to be able to work both with the active fight-flight responses and with the passive submission, feigned death kind of responses that happen with trauma. So we talk a lot about the 3 different branches of the autonomic nervous system, 1 sympathetic and 2 parasympathetic responses. And we also have to talk a lot about somatic resourcing. So the first step in working with a traumatized client is that they are somatically resourced, that they can actually feel connected to the present moment, that their feet are on the ground, that they feel centered and contained. Because with trauma, they lose all those resources. They may feel ungrounded, they may feel uncontained, they may feel like they're not in their body. Like they're, even with some clients, especially with sexual abuse, it's like they're watching their body from outside. So we have to, the first step is to get them to just be in their body and to be resourced in the present. The second step is that they can actually process through the traumatic memory itself, and that's a whole series of weekends just to do that part of it. The second level is not working with perceived life threats like it was in the trauma training. It's working with attachment injuries specifically. So failure to attach to the mother or the father or to the family, inability to have a sense of self in relationship to the parents, changes in the personality, which you call character strategies, and the character strategies are different ways of dealing with the childhood scenario. We're actually looking for using it with all different kinds of dissociative disorders, which often comes as a result of trauma, and then working with attachment issues. And when you're working with both of those kinds of issues, one of the keys, which I didn't bring up before, which is mindfulness. So it's literally learning the capacity to be mindful of your own inner experience moment by moment, to stay present in your current experience. So that ability to be present, to observe the emerging feelings, emotions, sensations, and so forth, so you're actually processing it. Mindfulness is like the antidote to dissociation. Dissociation is leaving your body, turning off your ability to sense or feel, and using that as a way to rescue yourself from overwhelming experiences. To counteract dissociation, we have to teach people to be really mindful and present with exactly what's emerging in their body and in their psyche as they experience a particular issue. Oh, that would be that could take a couple of days. I have a lot of training in working with other methods for emotions and cognitions, and I use that training. I utilize EMDR, I utilize some Gestalt, I utilize some bioenergetic techniques. But for really getting into the logic of the body and the body responses, both with trauma and with attachment issues, this method is, for me, the most profound and the most detailed about how to actually work both with mindfulness and with the physical responses to help them complete and to have a sense of resolution. I would say the main thing that attracts me about this work is not even the technique. It's not even just all the knowledge. I'm very interested in the knowledge components of it. But the main thing that draws me to it is that it's really, for me, a spiritual path. And the path is to be present in the present moment in your body. So it's really about, can you be present both in yourself, mindfully present in yourself, but also with another person, moment by moment, and actually processing your life as it's happening. And that particular spiritual path, I feel like, that's what draws me the most. It's that ever-growing capacity to just be present with your life, all levels of it, emotionally, physically, cognitively, spiritually. So that mindfulness path has really been the thing that draws me the most of all.